Thankful Thursday. What did I make on this Thankful Thursday? This chilly Chicago Thankful Thursday. I don't know if you can see this. I put this in a clear bowl. I had it in a darker bowl. Keto meatball soup, okay? Keto meatball soup. Can you guys even see the meatballs, right? I think you can see them. Maybe it's better back here, just a little bit. Keto meatball soup, okay? Carol, your phone is messed up. I don't know. You have to just come here and watch me live. That's what it is. Or read my lips. Come here and watch me live. Mary Beth! Okay. So keto meatball soup. So here's the deal. Because you know everything I do is super duper simple, right? Super, super duper simple. This is super simple, but there's like one extra step that might not be the most simple thing for everybody, but it's actually pretty simple if you think about it. Hey David, what's going on? How are you? What'd you have for dinner tonight, David? Tell me everything. Okay, so the keto meatball soup. Like in general, meatballs are keto, right? I'm thankful for you too, Brett, and you ate tacos, and I'm thankful for this. Yes, and my meatballs, and I'm thankful for you and Crystal as well. Lauren, you can't hear me. I think it's your phone, your volume. You have to turn it on and turn it off. But then again, you probably can't hear me say that either. Oh, I'm sorry. John, can you hear me? Brett, can you hear me? Can other people hear me? Because if other people can hear me, it's probably your phone, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. Okay, give me a high five or somebody tell me if they can hear me because I'm pretty sure that you guys can hear me. So, keto meatball soup, keto meatball soup. This is what goes into my keto meatball soup, okay? So, first, back to the keto soup. So, meatball soup right here. Keto meatball soup. This is delicious, and this is another winner in my house. Like, the children love it, the adults love it, probably the dog would love it too if I had one. I don't have one, but I'm just saying everyone loves this. So, what you have to do, me being Italian, making meatballs is super simple to me. But it might not be super simple to you, so that's all I'm saying, that this might not be as super simple as the rest of my meals usually are. Yes, and the weather was awesome until the week. Oh, there's a storm. I'm sorry, John. Does that mean you have to work all weekend? Probably. Oh, I'm sorry. So, have some keto meatball soup. Okay, so keto meatball soup. So this is super simple, and there's just the one extra step that I'm telling you about, but as long as you can get past like just making some meatballs of your own, you could go to the store and you could purchase like pre-made meatballs. However, I don't trust exactly what's in there. And I personally like to make my meatballs myself. I like to make all of my dishes myself because then I know what I put in there, okay? And here's a tip. Here's just an extra tip. This has nothing to do with this meal on any level. You guys should be using Himalayan sea salt, okay? Because Himalayan sea salt has all the minerals and everything that we need in it, okay? When you purchase pre-made things, they aren't using, most likely, the good quality Himalayan sea salt. They're probably using iodized salt that has nothing in it, nothing good for you. So here's a tip, and even especially when you're working with butter, because butter is a super duper keto thing and everyone's, usually using butter for different dishes and things like that, get the unsalted butter, okay? Get the unsalted butter because first of all, you don't know how much salt they've put into the butter to begin with, the salted butter, and you don't know what kind of salt, and chances are it's not good Himalayan sea salt. So my advice to you is if you take one thing away from this video other than the meatballs, right, is purchase unsalted butter and then salt your dish with Himalayan sea salt. Add the salt back. Same thing if you're making if you wanna make like a meat, right? John, you're big into meat, right? So if you wanna make a meat, but you wanna have fat in your meal, like more fat, because meat is protein, right? But you can get like a ribeye, it's got more fat on it than say a filet, right? So let's just say you want a good quality lean meat, right? Like you're gonna have a filet, right? Something like that. Or you're gonna even have like lean turkey or chicken or something like that, right? Add the fat back to it. For instance, add coconut oil back to it, or like add your good grass-fed butter back to it. You don't have to purchase the meat that has like all the fat on it. You can, but you don't have to. And this way you can control the amount of fat that you're putting into your dish, and you can also control the quality of the fat that you're putting into your dish. Does that make sense? So like, even if you go by lean ground beef, okay, for instance, it's got no fat in it. Lean ground beef, okay, delicious, grass-fed lean ground beef, right? If you're a beef eater. Or lean ground chicken, turkey, whatever it is, pork, whatever it is, whatever your meal of choice is. Add your fat back to it. You don't have to buy a fatty meat in order to have fat in it. You don't have to buy a fatty meat in order to have fat in it. Add your fat back. That way you're controlling everything about your meal. You're controlling the whole situation. You can add lard back to it if you wanted to. I mean, you know, it's your meal. You go. Whatever makes you happy. But if you're adding it back, then you know that it's good quality. You know how much salt you're putting in there. You know what kind of salt you're putting in there. You know what kind of fat, like avocado might be your fat of choice today, right? Avocado is amazing and it's got a lot of potassium, okay? On the potassium note, you need 4,700 milligrams of potassium every single day. It's an essential electrolyte, and potassium, and avocados have more potassium than bananas. Just on my list. I'm just saying that's the tip of the day. But so does a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar has more potassium than a banana does. So my suggestion to you is you put a teaspoon of cream of tartar in your water every single day, because it's gonna give you the potassium that you need. Then salt your foods with the Himalayan sea salt, right? Then take a magnesium supplement at night. If you're doing keto, now you have your 3 electrolytes in your body where they belong. You didn't break the bank, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I mean, or you could purchase Mitoplex from me and Preheat, which are the most fabulous electrolytes, but that is your way of getting it in with your meals. And that is super simple, it's very easy. You can get Himalayan sea salt anywhere, Walmart, anywhere. You can get, I think you probably get it at a gas station right now, Himalayan sea salt. You can get cream of tartar at any grocery store because it's in the baking aisle. And you can get a magnesium supplement anywhere. Those 3 things are your 3 electrolytes that you need every single day if you're not consuming carbs, okay? I don't know how I got into this tangent right now about electrolytes. Okay, let me just tell you about the soup and then I will let you guys go to bed, right? Okay, so keto meatball soup. Super delicious, super nutritious, extremely easy. Here's how it goes. So you take your ground beef, like I said, you can have lean ground beef. You take your ground beef, you mix it up. I added a package of frozen spinach to my ground beef, okay? Because I wanted this to be more nutrient dense for my children, okay? So meat, I added spinach, frozen spinach. I added fresh chopped garlic. I added an onion, a half of an onion, okay? And I mixed it all up together. Now, typically I would put, and then I added some salt and pepper, but typically, being Italian, I would add like cheese and I would add some eggs, and my mom even adds bread to her meatballs, but no bread to these meatballs, baby. And I didn't even put any cheese in them. You can if you want to, but I didn't for this recipe. I tried to make this recipe as it was supposed to be and it turned out delicious. But then I added a teaspoon of heavy whipping cream. So 1 teaspoon of heavy whipping cream, half of an onion, a bunch of cloves of garlic, some frozen spinach, and then ground beef. Mixed it all up together, salt and pepper, right? Mixed it all up together, rolled it into, made it into these tiny little balls. Can you guys see them? They're tiny. Let me show you. And I'm gonna lick my fingers. See, they're tiny. They're super tiny. Okay, so super tiny little balls. Put them on a baking sheet, and I baked them in the oven, 350 for about 35 to 45 minutes. I forgot exactly how long they were in there, but I can kind of eyeball it out. So 35 to 45 minutes. Okay, bake your meatballs, take them out, set them aside. While your meatballs are baking in the oven, okay, which literally takes it takes a few minutes to get them set up. Pop them in the oven, 35 minutes later. While you're doing that, you take your pot, which you can see my pot. See my pot? Can you guys see it? I know I have 2 pots, but the shorter one has the meatball soup in it right now. Maybe I'll show you in a second. So, oh, you can hear me now. Yay! Okay, let me think what I did. Okay, so I made this for my children, but if I was eating this solely by myself, I wouldn't put all the vegetables that I put in there because it changes the carb count. However, if you're working out or if you allow more carbs into your life, you can add more veggies. But veggies is where the carbs are from. And you want veggies. You need veggies every day. You need like 7 cups of veggies in your life. I'm just saying, it's a lot, but you do need veggies in your life. You need carbs, just not the bad, nasty, processed carbs, right? But you need carbs from vegetables, okay? You're quoting me out there. So what I did was I took the pot that you see back there and I added beef bone broth to the pot, okay? So then to that, I added a half of an onion, chopped up, some more garlic, chopped up, and then because my children were eating this, I also added 1 zucchini chopped up. I think I actually added 2 zucchinis chopped up, but that's okay because I've got a lot of kids. Zucchini chopped up, fresh carrots that I sliced and diced and peeled and did all this. Okay, so carrots I put in there. And I also put a teaspoon of tomato paste and a big can of diced fire roasted tomatoes, because the diced fire roasted tomatoes have a special certain flavor to them and they're delicious in a soup especially, okay? So fire roasted tomatoes, I put an onion, I put a zucchini, I put some carrots. Oh, and then I put, what else did I put in there? I'm trying to think because I didn't put everything on that's about it. I think that's it. That's all I put in there. And then, okay, so you stir, 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 stir. Now, if you wanted to lower the carb count, you could omit the zucchini and omit the carrots and omit the diced tomatoes, because the tomatoes and the carrots actually have the most carbs. But truly, we need our veggies. The spinach and the meatball has like so much. The spinach and the veggies, you need that. I would not omit the spinach in the meatballs rather. You need your greens. But the carrots have a lot of carbs that we don't necessarily need, and the carrots and the diced tomatoes, right? So you can omit those. You could even omit the zucchini if you want, right? Depends on how like chunky you want your soup, minestrone-like, right? So because this is meatball, or you can just make it like that and then not eat it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like it's just done right there. But the thing is, my children like it, so I put them in there. It's delicious, and then you just mix that all up. You bring it to a boil, and then you simmer it. And while it's simmering, you take your meatballs out of the oven, and then you add them to the pot, right? Stir, 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 put the pot back on, let it simmer for a little bit. I say about an hour. You let it simmer, just so all the flavors combine and everything, and then voila! Meal is complete. You have your meatball soup ready to be served to all the inmates in your home. How easy is that? Soon we will see meat and cheese. Yes, we will, John, right? Las Vegas. Here we come. So here is my oh, and you know what? I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you one very important thing. I put a teaspoon, just a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar in this big pot of soup. Just a teaspoon, because balsamic vinegar has carbs, right? So balsamic vinegar in this big pot, stir, stir, stir. It gives it a certain kind of special something, something flavor that 1 teaspoon in this big pot can handle the carb content. It's really tasty. I'm telling you, you should try it. So I posted the recipe above or below or sideways. It's somewhere around me right now. Where is it? Okay, it's here somewhere. Let me know if you have any questions. That is my keto meatball soup in a nutshell. Any questions? Vegas, John Vegas, right? All right, you guys, happy Thankful Thursday. Give me a high five. You guys are so awesome. I hope you had the most wonderful Thursday ever. Tomorrow is Friday, fabulous Friday. What should I make? Possibilities are limitless. If you have any suggestions, please post them below. I love to hear your suggestions. Have the best night ever. See you guys later.